Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast by Mr. B, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Mr. B.
And I'm Anna. Hello to all our wonderful listeners out there.
It's great to have you here with us today, Anna. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Mr. B. I'm really excited about today's topic. It's something I think will help so many of our listeners.
Absolutely. Today, we're going to talk about something really important: tips for living a successful English student life. And the best part? These tips are fun and easy to follow.
I love that approach. Learning doesn't have to be difficult or boring, right?
Exactly right, Anna. But before we dive in, we have a quick favor to ask our amazing listeners.
Yes, if you're enjoying this episode, please take a second to hit that like button. It really helps us reach more English learners like you.
And don't forget to subscribe to Podcast by Mr. B so you never miss our new episodes. We release fresh content regularly.
Oh, and please share this with your friends who are learning English too. The more, the merrier.
Sharing is caring, as they say. All right, Anna, are you ready to share our first tip?
I'm absolutely ready. Let's help our listeners become better English students.
Wonderful. So, tip number 1 is create a dedicated study space. Anna, what do you think about this one?
A dedicated study space? That sounds important. Tell me more about what you mean.
Well, it means having one specific place where you always study English. It could be a corner of your room, a desk, or even a spot at your kitchen table.
Oh, I see. So not just sprawling out on the couch or lying in bed.
Exactly. Your bed is for sleeping, your couch is for relaxing, but your study space is for learning. When you sit down at that spot, your brain knows, okay, it's time to focus on English.
That's really smart psychology. And I imagine you should keep everything you need there.
Absolutely. Keep your English books, notebooks, pens, highlighters, maybe even a dictionary, everything ready to go. That way, you're not wasting time searching for materials.
No more excuses like, I can't find my notebook then.
Right. And here's another important thing about your study space. It should be quiet.
Quiet is so important for concentration. No loud TV in the background?
No TV, no noisy music, no siblings running around. Find a peaceful corner where you can really focus.
A quiet, organized space with everything you need. That's an excellent first tip, Mr. B.
Thank you. Now, let's move on to tip number 2. Anna, would you like to share this one?
I'd love to. Tip number 2 is establish a regular study schedule.
A schedule, like a timetable?
Exactly. It means choosing a specific time each day when you'll study English. For example, every day at 5 p.m., you sit down for your English practice.
I really like that idea. It turns studying into a habit, like brushing your teeth or having breakfast.
That's exactly it. When it becomes a routine, you don't have to think about it or motivate yourself. You just do it automatically.
Now, I have a question. Does this need to be a long time, like 2 or 3 hours?
Oh no, definitely not. That would be exhausting and hard to maintain.
So, what's a good amount of time?
Just 15 to 20 minutes every single day is perfect. In fact, it's much better than trying to study for 2 hours once a week.
Really? Only 15 minutes?
Yes, consistency beats intensity. Your brain learns better with regular, short sessions than with irregular, long ones.
That makes so much sense. A little bit every day keeps the learning fresh.
Exactly, and you can choose whatever time works best for you, morning, afternoon, or evening.
Some people are morning learners, some are night owls.
Right, the key is picking a time and sticking to it as much as possible.
Wonderful advice. Okay, I'll take tip number 3. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Tip number 3 is make learning enjoyable and fun.
Oh, this is my favorite kind of tip.
Mine too, because if learning isn't fun, it becomes a chore and you'll avoid it.
Absolutely. So how can we make English study more fun?
Well, first, use colors. Get colorful pens and highlighters for your notes.
I do that. I use different colors for different types of words, like green for verbs, orange for nouns.
Perfect. It makes your notebook visually appealing and helps you remember things better.
What else can make learning fun?
Music. Listen to English songs. Find songs you enjoy and sing along, even if you're not a great singer.
Singing helps you remember words and pronunciation, plus it's entertaining.
Exactly. And you can watch English movies or TV shows, especially comedies or cartoons.
Cartoons are great because they use simple language and the visuals help you understand the story.
Yes, and don't forget about games. There are so many English learning apps and games on your phone.
So learning can feel like playtime instead of work.
That's the goal. When you enjoy what you're doing, you'll do it more often.
I love this tip. Okay, what's tip number 4?
This is an important one. Tip number 4 is be patient with yourself and embrace your mistakes.
Oh, this is such an important message.
It really is. Learning a language takes time. You won't become fluent in a week or even a month, and that's completely normal.
Right, it's a journey, not a sprint.
Exactly. Some days you'll feel like you're making progress. Other days you might feel stuck. Both are part of the process.
And what about mistakes? I know many students are terrified of making mistakes.
That's the thing. Mistakes are actually your best teachers.
How so?
Well, when you make a mistake, you notice it. You think, oh, that wasn't right. The correct way is this. And that realization helps you remember the right way.
So mistakes aren't failures, they're learning opportunities.
Precisely. Don't be afraid to speak or write because you might make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers.
I make mistakes all the time, and English is my strong language.
Same here. The important thing is to try, to practice, and to learn from those mistakes.
So be kind to yourself, be patient, and welcome your mistakes as friends.
Beautiful way to put it. Now, shall we move to tip number 5?
Yes, tip number 5 is maintain a personal English notebook.
A notebook just for English?
Yes, a dedicated notebook where you write down new vocabulary, phrases, and ideas.
What should someone write in this notebook?
Whenever you learn a new word, write it down, but don't just write the word, write an example sentence using it.
Oh, that's smart. So if you learn the word curious, you might write, I am curious about learning English.
Perfect example. This helps you understand how to actually use the word in context.
Can you add anything else to the notebook?
Definitely. You can draw small pictures next to words, add synonyms, or even write the word in a sentence from a song or movie you like.
It becomes like your personal dictionary.
Exactly. And you can review it regularly, maybe before bed, just flip through a few pages.
I imagine it feels good to see the notebook fill up over time.
It does. You can see your progress physically. Looking back at the first page and seeing how much you've learned is really motivating.
That's a powerful tip. Okay, what's tip number 6?
Tip number 6 is practice a little bit every single day.
Every day? That sounds like our tip about scheduling.
It's related, but this focuses more on the specific actions you take during that time.
What kind of actions?
Small, manageable things, like learning just one new word per day, only one.
Just one word? That doesn't sound hard at all.
That's the point. It's so easy that you have no excuse not to do it. Or you could change your phone's language to English for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's clever. You'd see everyday words like settings, messages, camera.
Exactly. Or watch one short English video, or write one sentence in English. Small actions.
I like this philosophy. It's not overwhelming.
Right. Think of it like this. Imagine a huge staircase. Trying to jump to the top is impossible, but taking one step at a time, you eventually get there.
Or like drops of water filling a bucket. One drop seems tiny, but many drops eventually fill the whole bucket.
Perfect analogy. Your English knowledge is the bucket, and each small daily practice is a drop.
I love that. Small, consistent efforts lead to big results over time.
Exactly. So touch English every day, even if just for 5 minutes.
Excellent tip. Now, for our final tip, tip number 7.
This is my absolute favorite.
What is it?
Find a study partner or English buddy.
Oh, I love this one too. Learning with someone else is so much better than learning alone.
It really is. You can practice conversations together, help each other with difficult words, and keep each other motivated.
What could you practice with a study partner?
Simple dialogues, like one person asks, "What's your favorite food?" and the other answers, "I love pizza. What about you?"
That makes speaking less scary because you're with a friend.
Exactly. And if you make a mistake, you can laugh about it together instead of feeling embarrassed.
Plus, you can motivate each other on difficult days.
Yes, if you're feeling lazy, your partner can encourage you, and vice versa.
You could watch English movies together, play English games together, or even just chat about your day in English.
It makes the language feel real and useful, not just something in a textbook.
A study buddy turns you into Team English.
I love that. Team English. You're in it together.
All right, Anna, we've covered all 7 tips. Should we do a quick recap for our listeners?
Absolutely. Let's review them together.
Tip 1. Create a dedicated, quiet study space with all your materials ready.
Tip 2. Establish a regular study schedule, even if it's just 15 minutes a day.
Tip 3. Make learning fun with colors, music, movies, and games.
Tip 4. Be patient with yourself and embrace mistakes as learning opportunities.
Tip 5. Keep a personal English notebook for new words and sentences.
Tip 6. Practice a little bit every single day with small, achievable actions.
And tip 7. Find a study buddy to practice with and motivate each other.
7 simple but powerful tips.
These aren't about being perfect, they're about being consistent and enjoying the journey.
That's the secret to successful language learning. Make it sustainable and enjoyable.
Well, Anna, I think that's all we have time for today.
This was such a helpful discussion. I hope our listeners feel motivated.
Me too. So, to everyone listening, thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Please subscribe to Podcast by Mr. B if you haven't already, and share this episode with your English learning friends.
And leave us a comment. Tell us which tip was your favorite, or share your own study tips.
We love hearing from you. Your comments make our day.
Until next time, keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, learning English should be fun.
Goodbye, everyone. Happy learning.
See you in the next episode.